Gujarat to Karnataka, ladies and gentlemen. Big development this. CNN News 18 exclusively accesses the inside track of the police investigation into the operation of the Daesh in Karnataka, or Daesh-influenced outfits, ISIS-influenced outfits in Karnataka. Suspect terrorist Yasin was carrying out low-intensity trial blast on the banks of the Tunga river in Shivmoga. They were actually trying to test low-intensity trial blasts were being conducted. Forensic science team and experts rushed from Bengaluru to inspect the area and collect traces of the explosive used. Another police team was dispatched to Tirthahalli to probe people who were in touch with Yasin and Maj Munir. One of the accused, Sharik, is suspected to be a close aide of the absconding terrorist Abdul Mateen. Abdul Mateen is currently absconding. Mateen's house in Tirthahalli was raided by the NIA back in May 2020, more than 2 years ago. He's got a bounty of 3 lakh on his head. He's still absconding. He's wanted in the Al Hind ISIS Bengaluru module case. Harish Upadhyay now joins us with more details. Yes, Harish.
Well, this was a fear of the Bengaluru police, in fact, the Karnataka police, that these were not just random youngsters who were radicalized. It was much more, and now that being proven, initial details coming in from this investigation indicating that Yasin, who is also a mechanical engineer who had the knowledge of making bombs, was in fact carrying out trial blasts on the banks of River Tunga in Shivmoga. And this was next to a STP in an isolated area that this was happening. Although the nearby residents did hear some sound, they thought this was something related to fishing and the work, nearby construction work that was happening. But the police now visiting this site, the forensics team 2 from Bengaluru has reached there to collect samples of the possible explosives that could have been used over there. What is more worrying is the fact that one of the accused who is absconding was in touch with another terrorist, suspected terrorist of the ISIS. His home was raided in Tirthahalli in 2020. He was wanted in the Al Hind ISIS case related to meetings that happened near Bannerghatta Road in Bengaluru. So looks like this is a larger module, although some of them are absconding. Their close aides were planning something in Shivmoga is what is coming out from the prima facie investigation that's happened now.
Now, how many of these people have been arrested, and when were the arrests made? And when was the timeline of this entire trial blast being conducted?
Well, 2 people have been arrested. Maj Muin has been arrested. Yasin has been arrested. Both of them picked up from Shivmoga and Mangaluru yesterday. Shaheen is still absconding. He's the one who was in touch with Abdul Mateen, is what we understand. And over the last few weeks is when these blasts are being carried out, is what the police are saying. The fact that this is not a very thickly populated area, it's an isolated area, not too many nearby residents as well who can give more information. But what we understand is that there is a team in Tirthahalli which is possibly trying to figure out who were the others who were in touch with Shaheen or other 2 of the arrested, whether it's the arrested in Shivmoga or Abdul Mateen who is absconding. That is happening, and in the meanwhile, devices recovered from their houses both in Mangaluru and Shivmoga is also being analyzed right now.
Right, Harish, thank you for your inputs. I've got Sushant Sareen. Sushantji, thank you for joining us on short notice. But this is a worrying trend. Not just highly qualified, educated individuals, but highly radicalized, and they have got the kind of explosives which allows them to do trial runs also.
Yeah, so Anand, number one, I think, if you look at the profiles of many of the terrorists these days, these are the highly educated guys and from reasonably well-to-do families. This myth which has been propounded for so long that it is poverty which drives people to terrorism is utter nonsense. It's been proven time and time again, and yet it's a familiar trope for people who, act as kind of insidious advocates for these terrorists. It has nothing to do with poverty. So I'm not surprised that this guy is from a highly educated background. He is from a reasonably well-to-do background, and he has taken to terrorism. We've seen it in case after case. The other thing is that the area in which these guys were operating, again, comes as no real surprise, because that's an area which has gained a degree of notoriety for radicalism. Mangalore is a place where there are a lot of social tensions. It's a place where this kind of activity has been happening for the longest, and the other places in that particular belt of Karnataka, that's been happening. And frankly, I think the politics, both of the state as well as at the national level, only seems to, in a sense, encourage these guys, validate these guys, give them a degree of legitimacy through, drawing false moral equivalences. So what we are seeing is something which I fear will only grow as we go forward. This is not something, which is a one-off kind of a thing, and it's not going to happen again. It's a part of a trend which we are witnessing, and we have been witnessing for a fairly long bit of time.
Right. The Home Minister is taking an internal security review meeting, not just with focus on Jammu and Kashmir, but overall. But these trends which we are seeing and these aspects of radicals present pan-India, some of these terrorists who've got access to the kind of explosives, the huge cache of RDX was found even in Murthal and Kaital areas like Haryana. There were terrorists who were seen, who were found, who were caught in Assam, Madhya Pradesh. Now we are seeing test and trial blasts being conducted in Karnataka. Are these all individual outfits, or do you believe that they seem to be random, but they are all somewhere connected? And are we on the throes of perhaps a massive security challenge internally, Sushantji?
I think we are going to be facing a massive internal security challenge. Now, whether all of these incidents are connected to one mastermind or a bunch of people who are directing all of this, I don't think it can be said with any degree of certainty. At least we've not seen any evidence so far.
Right.
But I suspect that there would be something like this happening because, after all, how does somebody in Assam get hold of these kind of explosives and starts taking to this kind of a thing unless he's
Right.
connected to a larger kind of a circle? So I
Right.
suspect that if further investigations are carried out, I think we will come to some kind of a conclusion that there are some people or a group or an organization or even a state which is orchestrating and which is promoting this kind of nefarious activities.
Right. Sushantji, thank you for your inputs. Taking a very